The story takes place in the Divine Kingdom, where a crucial decision is being made to choose a god who will save a world from imminent destruction. The chosen one for this daunting task is the goddess of healing, who becomes overwhelmed by the difficulty of the mission. Despite having successfully saved 5 worlds of lesser challenges in the past, she realizes that she falls short compared to the other gods who have saved numerous worlds. In order to save worlds, the gods summon heroes to assist them. Rita, the goddess of healing, frantically searches for a capable hero to save the world. After desperate attempts, she discovers a level 1 candidate who possesses exceptional laughter, making him a potential candidate. She summons him immediately, and Seller Rugoin, a handsome and serious guy, appears, instantly captivating Rita and fueling her fantasies. She explains the situation regarding the world of Brandy, his duty to save it, and her role as a goddess in supporting him. However, being cautious, she bombards him with questions about his potential death, special powers, and why she, as a goddess, cannot save the world herself. Rita clarifies the rules of being a goddess and assures him that if he dies in this world, he will return unharmed to his own. She requests him to check his statistics, but he examines other aspects instead. When Rita opens the portal to the world, her hero refuses to go unprepared, prompting her to train him. Disappointed, she seeks advice from her experienced goddess friend, Aria. Aria suggests that it is not a bad idea to prepare in advance, as Rita is responsible for his well-being. Realizing she has neglected his needs, she begins to take care of him and notices significant level growth. Determined, Rita trains him for another week, enabling him to gain new abilities and reach a higher level. Finally ready, they enter the world they must save. In the town, they encounter mistrust from everyone, except for a girl who offers a good luck charm that is initially mistaken as a cursed object. During their shopping trip, they buy excessive supplies, including 3 pieces of luggage, one for immediate use, one as a spare, and another in case the spare is used. They encounter monsters in their quest, but they turn out to be weak slimes. Nonetheless, Rita attacks them relentlessly, defeating them multiple times. Suddenly, Kaomashina, one of the 4 heavenly kings of the Demon King's forces, appears. Sensing danger, Rita begins running as a precaution, and they manage to escape to the safety of the Divine Kingdom. They resume their training, focusing on increasing their strength to ensure victory against Machina. Meanwhile, Kaomashina continues to kill a person every 10 minutes, awaiting Rita's appearance. However, time in the Divine Realm flows much slower, and those 10 minutes translate to approximately 16 hours. Although amused by this revelation, Rita understands the gravity of the situation, as the world will perish if her hero dies. Surprisingly, her hero reveals his newfound strength and determination, impressing her. They confront Machina, but Rita's attacks prove futile against him. She then utilizes her ultimate technique, a lethal blow capable of defeating Machina in a single strike, though it seems to be a virus. Keeping her true statistics hidden even from her allies, she harnesses her new abilities to defeat the formidable monster. From there, Rita begins to rhyme whenever she can. Unsatisfied with just killing the monster, Sella finishes off its remains and teaches the entire town to despise it. Rita decides to return to the Divine Realm for further training and confides in her friend, Aria. She discovers that Aria is considered one of the best goddesses not because she has saved 300 worlds, but because she failed to save 1 world, which still depresses her. Upon her return, Aria encounters her hero and quickly approaches him to introduce herself. He expresses his frustration that exercise no longer helps him level up. Rhea suggests fighting monsters to gain levels, but he finds it too dangerous. Aria proposes that he train with the gods, specifically Zeus. Initially displaying superiority, Zeus becomes Rita's training partner but is eventually surpassed, leading Rita to hide from him. They return to the Otherworld city, which is about to be attacked by the undead. There, they meet Lulu and Masha, descendants of the Dragon King. Despite his usual distrust, Sella pours holy water on the church's father, revealing him to be a monster, and defeats him. Taking precautions, he pours holy water on everyone as well. However, Rita perceives the country as weak and informs them that she doesn't need their assistance. Michael, angered by her dismissive attitude, confronts the monsters alone. However, Sella intervenes using his flying and laughing technique. When she struggles to keep up, he carries her and continues the battle, using a plucked chicken as a weapon. Sella finishes off the monsters with meteorites but starts feeling unwell, prompting them to retreat. Sella, being cautious, explains that if the enemy manages to scratch her hero, he should immediately return to the city. She presents him with an improved weapon, infused with Rita's hair, and he requests more hair for replacements. At that moment, a mirror arrives, allowing communication with one of the 4 heavenly kings who has captured Mash. Rita manages to buy time and seek help from the great goddess Easter. With the aid of items made from Rita's hair, they defeat the demon and its monster. Sella stays behind to finish off the demon. The following day, the hero accepts the children into his team to carry their belongings. They inform him that according to tradition, they, along with the hero, must go to the dragon's lair to obtain the most powerful weapon. After obtaining the powerful sword, which is capable of harming the Demon King, the group decides to return to the Divine Kingdom to continue their training. In the Divine Kingdom, Sella takes up a new profession as a pastry chef to avoid using his sword. However, when they are told to train, even the weaker member, May, joins in. They also seek help from the goddess of fire to train Lulu. During their time in the Divine Kingdom, Rita encounters the Valkyrie, the goddess of destruction and the most powerful goddess of all. Rita, realizing her strength, calls her an exhibitionist and asks her for training. Arya intervenes to calm the situation and takes Adonella to her god of war, who has an eccentric personality, to train her in swordsmanship. With each passing day, they all grow stronger, except for one member who remains almost the same. Before their departure, Donella appears, expressing her love for him, but when he rejects her, she becomes enraged. However, in Brandy, she doesn't need to lift a finger to kill the monsters due to her incredible power. Now, she conceals her levels more than ever and doesn't let Rita see them. When they arrive at the dragon's lair, they meet Leviage, the head of the dragons, who prepares a ceremony for the hero and his group. However, they plan to sacrifice Lulu in order to obtain the sword Ignacio, the only weapon capable of harming the Demon King. Despite Lulu's willingness to sacrifice herself, they manage to convince her otherwise. However, the boys have been drugged to prevent any interference. Fortunately, Lulu's cautious nature protects her from the drugging attempt. She confronts Leviage in her dragon form, but the battle takes a toll when it is revealed that Lulu will die in a few minutes due to a necklace placed on her. Through a long and intense fight, using swords created by Sella from the Locks of Laughter, Rita manages to push Leviage until they both fall. Lulu is saved, and Sella obtains the sword Ignacio, which transforms using Lulu's blood. This sword becomes the key to damaging the Demon King. As they exit the lair, Rita scolds Sella for using her own belongings, which she had torn off while Sella was sleeping, to create weapons. However, Rita also acknowledges that Ignacio is not the only sword capable of harming the Demon King. She assures Sella that they will find another way to defeat the Demon King without relying solely on the sword. Upon their exit, they encounter soldiers waiting for help as their city is under attack. Upon their arrival at the battleground, they witness the enemy's massacre of several soldiers. As the demon retreats, Captain Rosalia attempts to boost the soldiers' morale. They head to the kingdom to strategize, but Sella's impulsive nature clashes with Rosalia's lack of strategy, resulting in a disagreement. Sella expresses his intention to train, while Rosalia blames her own lack of strategy for the deaths of her soldiers and feels the urge to strike Sella. Eventually, Rosalia's anger consumes her, transforming her into an uncontrollable force. In the Divine Kingdom, Sella recognizes the need to attack from a distance. Rita takes her to Midas, the goddess of the bow, to learn archery and various arrow techniques. Meanwhile, the rest of the group accompanies Arya to unlock their powers. Rita discovers Adela's desire to kill her, but she approaches her fearlessly and manages to calm her down by gently stroking her head. After 3 days, Matcha improves her power control, while Hulu learns to manipulate magic to slow down or speed up people. Rita mentions to Arya that Sella is training with Midas, causing Arya to become upset. She reveals that Midas resides in the forest and has a history of kidnapping and engaging in sexual activities with summoned heroes. Concerned, Rita rushes to intervene. When she arrives, she finds Midas naked and tied to a tree, planning to offer herself as the fantastic fruit for Sella's training. Sella shoots him in the head to prevent any inappropriate behavior. After resolving the situation, the group proceeds to the other world. In the other world, Rosalia has already faced the demon alone but is defeated. When Sella launches a final attack, the demon appears to dodge it, but it was part of the demon's anticipation. After Rosalia leaves, the demon reveals the location of the legendary armor they need to face the Demon King. Upon reaching the armor's location, they discover that the city has been destroyed by one of the 4 heavenly kings, and the armor is also destroyed. Realizing they cannot win against the 4 heavenly kings, Rosalia sacrifices herself to summon a monster. Unaware of how to defeat it, Sella retreats to the Divine Kingdom. However, the monster pursues them, and the gods' attempts to stop it prove futile. Eventually, the group convinces Adonella to attack the monster, hoping for a reward. However, Adonella receives a severe beating from the monster. They take her to Valyria, hoping to provoke her into action. After facing the formidable monster, the Valkyrie couldn't defeat it, but she utilized a technique called Omega Valkyrie that severely injured her own body. Strangely enough, she seemed to derive some enjoyment from it. However, this technique was known to be fatal to mortals. Recognizing the incredible power of the Valkyrie, the protagonist manages to convince her to train him. They confront the final of the 4 heavenly kings, who was on the verge of attacking the city. Surprisingly, an old man named Roseward takes care of the situation along with his army. However, when Kurita appears, Roseward mysteriously transforms into a baby, revealing that he is Rosalia's father. Inside the castle, Rosalia explains that her father turned into a baby for unknown reasons after facing the Demon King. During their conversation with him, Sella urges him not to assist in defeating the Demon King. As the surviving monsters launch an attack on the city, Rita, having lost due to a medicinal herb, decides to venture off on her own once she is prepared. In the meantime, the old man enlightens Rita about the immortality of gods. He explains that the souls of gods reside in the Divine Kingdom, so even if their physical bodies are destroyed, they do not die as their souls remain intact. Similarly, when heroes die in this world, their souls return to their original world. However, the Demon King has created weapons capable of killing both heroes and gods by destroying their souls. The old man reveals one of these weapons, intending to use it to kill Rita and prevent Sela from returning to the Divine Realm. His motivations stem from his envy of not being able to defeat the Demon King himself, fueling his desire to eliminate the hero. In a critical moment when the old man captures Rita, Sela makes a dramatic entrance to save her. Sela had already suspected the old man's treachery due to his suspicious behavior. Equipped with an orb that he had given to the Demon King, Sela undergoes a transformation, becoming more serious and discarding the weights he carried. The battle commences, with the old man proving to be a formidable opponent, ripping off one of Sela's arms. However, Sela refuses to give up and retaliates by severing one of the old man's arms. Eventually, they deliver a final blow that leads to Sela's victory. Although the old man survives, Rosalia wants nothing to do with him. However, she helps him realize that his death would mean never being able to communicate with his father again, prompting them to part ways. Sometime later, with the city's issues resolved, Rosalia becomes its ruler. Sela advises the boys to rest and relax. With the prospect of a bath with Sela in mind, Rita seeks a suitable attire. Unfortunately, she unintentionally comments that the local suits are inferior compared to those in the Divine Kingdom, infuriating the owner, who offers incomplete suits instead. However, when she displays a suit from the Divine Kingdom, the situation changes. They head to the inn for their rendezvous, but Sela fails to show up. So they searched for him everywhere but couldn't find him. Rita decided to ask Arya for help, and they discovered her in a sorrowful state. Arya took them to the place where the souls of the Easter gods are kept. She explained that after they separated from Sela, she went to face the Demon King. Rita finds it hard to believe because of his cautious nature, doubting that he would leave without proper training. However, she reveals that despite his brusque demeanor, he is actually a kind-hearted person. He didn't want to risk the Demon King, who can kill gods, taking Rita's life. This time, he didn't train because he had already reached his maximum level long ago. To hide his statistics and lacking the sword capable of harming the Demon King, he learned the Valkyrie technique, which would result in his death after using it. She shows Rita Sela's past, where he was summoned 100 years ago by Arya, accompanied by Colt and Tiana of the Carrot Group. At that time, Sela was carefree and fought monsters without strategy or preparation, barely managing to defeat them. However, when they confronted the Demon King of that world, they were unaware that he had 2 lives. As a result, Colt perished, and Arya, even though she couldn't die, had her body devoured by the Demon King. Finally, the monster turned its attention to Tiana, who was pregnant with Sela. The monster showed no mercy and devoured her, laughing cruelly. Seeing this story, Rita can't hold back her tears because it turns out that Tiana was her in her previous life. Even though Sela doesn't remember that moment, it was engraved in her soul, which is why she is excessively cautious. Rita decides to go and help Sela, despite putting her own life in danger. By opening a direct portal to the castle of the Demon King, she violates a law of the gods and is sure to face punishment. However, she doesn't care, and the boys also decide to accompany her. When they arrive, Rita finds Sela already confronting the Demon King, whom he can't defeat without the technique she taught him. After unleashing all his power against the Demon King, he manages to defeat him. However, Sela ends up suffering from the damage caused by the technique. Rita refuses to let him die and, once again breaking the rules, uses her healing powers to save him. Just when everything seems to be fine, they realize that the technique hasn't disappeared, and it turns out that it wasn't powerful enough to defeat the Demon King. Without any other option, Rita decides to use a more powerful technique that would guarantee the death of both of them. The Demon King disappears, and Sela is also on the brink of vanishing. The boys suggest taking him to the Divine Kingdom, where Temoria could return to his world. However, Rita can't create a portal because the moment she stops using her magic, she would die. She expresses her gratitude to Masha and Lulu for their help and entrusts them with the responsibility of taking care of this world. Rita doesn't want Sela to disappear because she doesn't want to be separated from him again. However, Sela assures her that she has done well. He reminisces about their past together and eventually fades away. Sometime later, the world is once again at peace. Rita feels a sense of emptiness, but Arya tries to comfort her, reminding her that she will still face punishment for breaking the rules. However, since she saved a rank S world, Arya assures her that she won't let her be punished severely. They head to her trial, encountering several familiar gods along the way. The gods of Easter congratulate Rita for her work but inform her that she will be given the task of overseeing a world with double S rank difficulty, a level that surpasses S rank. This time, she won't have her healing powers. Arya tries to advocate for her, explaining that there is no hero capable of saving that world, but in normal circumstances, they cannot bring back someone who has already died. However, an exception is made, and Rita is given permission to summon Sela once again to save the new world where they will start from scratch. And this is how the anime concludes. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more anime videos.